Hello, everybody. My name is Jillian Carter. I did a curriculum plan. My focus was on the importance and benefits of play-based practices in early childhood classrooms. Give me one moment while I share my screen. Let me move over to the thesis. Okay, so let's start with chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the introduction. It outlines the purpose of the curriculum plan and master's project, as well as gives an overview of each chapter. Chapter 2 is a literature review that is broken down into different sections that talk about different aspects of place-based practices, also called purposeful play. The first section is what is purposeful play? Purposeful play is the integration of curriculum, instruction, and assessment. Purposeful play can be student-led or teacher-led, depending on what type of play the students are engaging in. As we will talk about more, teacher-led play can be a way to expand upon prior background knowledge through a deliberate line of questioning, which we will talk about later in the literature review. Student-led play is more of the traditional play you would see during recess. Children are exploring their interests. Moving on, we go to the importance and benefits of play. One of the major necessities for play-based practices within early childhood classrooms is the social emotional deficits we are seeing in children since the pandemic. Children have high levels of stress. Play-based practices allows endorphins to be released as well as helps with executive functioning skills such as cognitive flexibility and emotional regulation, which helps with stress. Moving on, we have the different types of play. This is taken from the book Purposeful Play, A Teacher's Guide to Igniting Deep and Joyful Learning Across the Day. The first type is fantasy play / imaginative play. This is going to be role playing within early childhood classrooms. The benefits of this is children get to act out not only inspirational roles, but everyday roles, such as playing mom and dad. Constructive play is your building. This is anything from Legos to wooden blocks. Next is games with rules. This can be outdoor games or board games, any kind of play with a set of rules. And then finally, we have rough and tumble play. This is a controversial type of play because it is physical. However, it helps children exert healthy methods of aggression and develop body awareness. Next is activating learning through play. One way to activate learning through play that I spoke about earlier is using questions to expand upon students' prior background knowledge. You can ask questions such as, why are you using that toy? Or how could we play with this toy in a different way? Those types of questions to get them thinking using higher levels of thinking skills. Next is how to administer assessment through play. Observation is a main way assessment is taken in early childhood classrooms. This section outlines how to do assessment-based assessment, or sorry, observation-based assessments within early childhood classrooms. Next, we have the curriculum plan. So I will switch over to my other document. One moment. I'm getting the screen up and running. Okay, thank you for your patience. So this is the Early Learning Guidelines that was made by the New York State Early Childhood Advisory Council. So this early learning guide outlines 5 learning domains. Each domain has sub skills, as you can see. For the curriculum plan, I used sub skills from domain 2, 3, 4, and 5, and connected play-based activities to these sub skills. Then I connected the activities to elements of play and New York State learning standards. Back to our thesis. So here is the elements of play. This is done by a researcher from the Strong National Museum of Play. I wanted to make sure that each activity had elements of play as well as academic value. Next is our 3-day lesson plan. Let me scroll down to it. So, wait one moment. Our 3-day lesson plan. So I took ideas from the curriculum plan and made a 3-day mini unit. This one in particular has to do with early phonemic awareness skills in pre-K. So I use the book My Friends Make Me Happy, and we talk about the letter F and its sounds. The children are going to create story stones. Story stones are a way to retell stories in a fun way. Each child makes characters from the book out of stones, and they retell the story. Then children will be going on a literary scavenger hunt where they are going to find items within the classroom that start with the letter F sound. So those are 2 activities from the curriculum plan that I incorporated into full lesson plans. Next is chapter 4, evaluation. For this evaluation, a presentation of my project was presented to my colleagues. I had them fill out a Google form for feedback. So here are the 4 questions that I asked on my Google form. Question 1, does my curriculum plan successfully connect to the elements of play? Number 2, does my 3-day lesson plan fit cohesively as a 3-day unit? Question 3, can you see an early childhood educator successfully executing my lesson plan? Question 4, do my ideas/activities outlined in the curriculum plan align with standards outlined in the curriculum plan? Overall, the feedback received from peers was positive. Peers made comments such as well-researched, enjoyable, cohesive, and purposeful. Here are the responses that I received from my Google form. Next, I outline the limitations of the presentation and curriculum plan overall. One major limitation to the presentation and feedback was the fact that there are only 9 participants in our class. Of those 9 participants, only 6 completed the Google form. In all, I only received 24 responses over the 4 questions. All the responses were positive. If I were to present again, I would have a question on the Google form that asks for constructive criticism. Next is my personal reflections on the project. One personal reflection was to improve my 3-day mini unit. One pedagogical technique I would have liked to include would have been project-based learning. Project-based learning allows students to toy and work through real-life problems in real-life contexts. Next is my chapter 5. So the first part of chapter 5 talks about further research. One major theme I discussed in the further research section is loose parts. So loose parts is the materials you are using during play. These materials are very important to get right, as they are the methods children are going to be using for exploration through play. Recommendations for literature pertaining to loose parts is given within this section. Final considerations and implications. One implication that is made from this study and master's project is that this research will be used to support extra time for play-based activities within early childhood classrooms. Thank you for listening to my presentation.